everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome back to another episode of OrgelCraft. Hope you guys are having a great day today. So, I have been doing a little bit of work since our last episode, and let me just show you what I have been up to before we get into our projects for today. So, in the last episode, we transformed these two houses from this Minecraft village. We spruced them up a little bit and kind of incorporated them with our original house that we built over there using the same materials. So let me take you on a little bit of a tour around this village and show you what I have been working on. So one of the first things that I did was we have these farms that are all over the place, and they have all of these logs around them, which I think looks okay, but it gets a little bit boring after a while. So one of the things that you can do with logs is if you right-click on them with an axe, they'll turn into stripped logs, and that's what gives you that texture there. So I decided to alternate those two, and I have no more on me, so I can't replace that. Okay, don't let me forget that I have done this. We'll come back. All right. Actually, you know what? I can borrow this. There we go. We will get that fixed up really quick. Okay. So, that's done. And I went around and did that to all of the farms in this village. Now, the reason that I have stolen that block from this farm is I'm actually going to remove it. None of the villagers tend to it. It's just kind of sitting over here off on its own. And there are a number of other farms in here that are much more accessible, and so we're actually going to get rid of this one later in this episode. So this is another one of the houses that I transformed. I'm going to put an image of what it originally was up on the screen for you. So as you can see, originally it was much higher up in the air, but there was no way to access it from up there, so I brought it down to a much more manageable level. And so this is what we have here. I haven't done anything with the interior. This table was actually part of the original up there, and not the greatest house in the world because you have this window that looks out onto stone. So we might want to work on that in the future, make this a little bit more of an interesting house, and it's nighttime. All right. That's okay because all the rest of my houses have interiors here, so we can go and take a nap in there. So if we come around behind this hill, we have yet another house, and this is one of those 2x3 interiors. And so as you can see, we have the birch, and we have the roof on there. And if we come in here, we got a little bit of a table and a bed, which I'm going to make use of right now. Okay. And let me show you what I did with this roof. So I did a little bit different. Played around with those corners a little bit more, did a slab here instead of the full stair, just for some variation on that. And then if we keep coming around, see, this is another one of those farms. There's actually one over here and up there, but we're going to keep coming down because the other houses that I worked on are over here. Hello. This is our cartographer. He's going to be useful later. So this is this house. Very simple interior. Obviously, we don't have a lot of space. And I'll put that original up as well if I haven't already. And then this over here. Whoops. I forgot to clean this one up. There we go. Okay, and then this was the other 3x3. Had a little bit of fun with this roof. Did the different colors all the way, and the little I don't know what to call it. I don't know architectural terms, so you guys will have to fill me in as we go through. But I just put stairs in a row like this, just to give it a little bit of a different style on the roof. Did something similar over here with a different style. I don't know. Maybe this is the wealthier part of town. And then if we go on the inside, again, basic interior, bed, chest, furnace, just to give it a little bit. So that's all that I have done on the village. As you can see as we're walking around, it's not the easiest place to get around. This is my little operations center for the work that we're doing on here. So I've got some furnaces, which I've been using, chests, which have all of our materials, crafting table. This is where we're going to work from. But this is not all that I have been doing. Hello. I had a path. Where was my path? Oh, my path is over here. Here we go. Alright, so that is what I've worked on in the village. We have a birch tree grove because I need a lot more birch wood, and over here I have an acacia forest, and I kind of like how this looks. Normally, acacia trees don't generate this close together out in Minecraft's worlds, but I really kind of like how this looks. So I'm not going to be keeping it here permanently because it's in the way of some other things that I need to do. But for right now, we'll leave it, and this is where I'm getting all of my acacia. So, of course, the name of this game is Minecraft, and one of the things that you have to do is mine. And I was tired of using stone tools and needed to get a lot more resources, so I have started a mine shaft. So if we take a walk down here, I've gone all the way down to diamond level because even iron tools, while they work, they're still not nearly as fast or durable as diamond tools. So I decided it was finally time to get some diamond and also to be able to get some armor, because one of the things that you guys missed between this episode and the last was I had my first death. Yep, I was out trying to gather things at night and got greedy and got ganged up on by many, many zombies and didn't survive, which is also why I have armor, and I took that off for the intro, but we're going to go ahead and put that back on. So now I have armor, only iron armor for right now, because I spent probably close to an hour mining down here. I've gone hundreds of blocks in that direction and hundreds of blocks in this direction over here, and it took me over an hour to find my first diamonds. I did finally find some, and I'm actually going to put a clip of that right here. We have found diamonds, finally! It has taken far too long to get here. Now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna dig around this. You might be able to hear that lava. And I learned the hard way that you always want to dig and check the blocks underneath your diamonds before you dig them up, because you might accidentally drop them into lava, and that's no fun. Diamonds are too few to begin with to waste any by dropping them into lava. And we've got some lapis here, and there's the lava. There it is. So yes, so we have finally found diamonds, and these are all the resources I've been gathering. These are kind of our basic building blocks, your cobblestone, granite, gravel, diorite, andesite, and then up here are kind of the precious resources. So lots of redstone, lots of coal, some gold, some lapis lazuli, which we'll be getting into what that's for a little bit later, a lot of iron, and diamonds. Now, as you can see here, I've made a diamond pickaxe, and this is what I have left. So has not been great for mining. I've probably done about 2.5 hours in total of mining and have not come up with a lot of diamonds, so I'm not happy about that. But we'll make do with what we have for now. I'm going to take these up top so that we can actually start putting those to use. So that's all the big stuff I've been working on. I've been doing a couple of small other things, and I want to talk with you about one of those, because I think that's going to be a project for the next episode. But for today, we're going to be doing some more building and continuing to work on our village. So I think I said at the end of the last episode, we were going to work on 3 buildings in particular in this episode. Now, I've gone through and done all the houses, but we still have 2 libraries. We have this tower over here. I think I called it a church, but this is not really a church. It's got a very small space in here. You do have this second floor. And then if we go up here, we have the roof. I think that this is probably more of like a watchtower. Obviously you have the hostile mobs that will come in, and zombies love to attack villagers. So, this is probably something where, the villagers would keep lookout at night and be able to see if there are any threats coming in. So, we're going to go ahead and call this a watchtower. This is going to be one of the things that we work on. And we will also be working on this library up here. And we are also going to be working on the blacksmith shop, or the forge that we have over there. We also have another library, which if I have time, I will do that based on what we do to this one. So let me get some materials together, and I think I want to start with this guard tower, because I have some ideas in mind for what we can do with that. Alright, so I've got my resources organized. So what I want to do to start working on this is, basically, I want to replace the entire structure. The cobblestone is really kind of an ugly block for building large structures. And when I build in stone, I really like to use stone bricks. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come along here, and I will do a little bit of this. All right, so we're going to start right there. And we are going to replace all of the cobblestone with stone bricks. This is going to be a little bit of a project, and I'm not going to do this all on camera. So I'm going to do that and come back, and then we'll start working on making it look better from the basic shape that we have. Welcome back, and as you can see, we have our much improved watchtower. So I've gone and replaced everything with stone brick. And as we walk around, it's good that it's up on a hill, because you can see long distances, but that makes it a little bit hard to work with. As I was working my way around, everywhere that the tower came down, I brought this stone brick all the way to the ground. So we're going to do that, because I missed that one little spot there, and I don't know if I can get up there. Let's just do that. So if we come all the way around, you can see we've taken care of all of that, and then leap of faith, jump down into the water here. As you can see, I brought the foundation of the structure all the way to the bottom. So brick for brick, it is exactly the same as it was before, just replaced and looked much better. Now the problem is it still looks a little bland. So what we're going to work on next is doing a little bit of texture variation. So this is where, you take blocks that look similar, and you kind of mix them all together. So let me just show you a little bit of an example of this right here. So this is what we're working with. We have all the stone brick there, but we have other blocks that have a similar texture to it. So we have cracked stone bricks, which I'll put right along there. And these are made by taking stone bricks and running them through the furnace another time. And so you have that little bit of a variation in what it looks like. And then we also have just plain old stone, which has the same sorts of colors, but just like a different pattern as we get on there. So what happens when we start to mix these together is it makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. So if I were to take that and that out, if we look at our original, and we can do that, and that, and that. Let me go over here. And so then as you look at it, it makes it much more interesting to look at. You don't have that one flat texture that we have all through there. So we're going to go and we are going to add a little of these texture variation blocks to the structure over here. And you don't want to do too much with it, just enough to break up what you're looking at. So maybe we could go here, and we'll do that. Let's maybe take those out. Go. And this is going to be difficult to work on the sides, but we'll see what we can do. Let's see. One of the other things, there was some cobblestone that was generated underneath that I didn't leave, but as I think about it, as you get to the foundation of it, that's where you might have, especially if it's an older building, some of the stone will be crumbling. So what we could actually do is we could actually do that, and then that kind of transitions us as we go up, and it's about time for me to go and take a nap. Let's see. Let's do a little bit more. If I can't get up there, that's too high. So if we come over here, let's maybe take that out. Let's do... Alright, so there's just a little bit of variation to it. And as you can see already, it starts to break up that vanilla texture that's along there and makes it much more interesting to look at. I gotta go sleep really quick. And there go the villagers staring at me while I sleep again. I'm not buying that this is your house, because there's two of you in here. Even more creepy. Alright, you stay in there. Or don't, whatever. Villagers. one of the things that I was thinking about doing was making a villager breeder. It's a good way to get lots of different items that usually you can't get until later in the game. However, this past week, the pre-release for Minecraft 1.14 came out, and when that full release comes out, there is going to be a massive change in how villagers work and how their trading system goes. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and hold off on doing anything with villagers until that is out, because that should probably be out sometime in the next few weeks. Alright, so let's work on this side since we're here. And let's put some cobblestone down at the bottom. Actually, I think maybe we'll replace all of this base stuff with cobblestone and regular stone. And then maybe cracked in there. And there. And I don't know if I can get that. Oh, there we go. That part was designed like that. We'll pick that up. How does that look? That looks much better. Alright. The rest of this is going to be a challenge to do just because of it being outside. So I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this up off camera, and then we'll come back and see how it looks when we're all done. And here we have our final product. So I've gone through and done texture variation all throughout this. If we head on up here, we can see it a little bit closer. Maybe that's too close. But if you go inside, you see we've done a little bit with the walls, a little bit with the floor. If you come up here, you can see more in the second floor, and then we go all the way up. I actually had to raise this because one of the other things that I do, just to add a little bit of depth to it, was I added some stairs along here. You know, that's the one problem with building with blocks, is that everything tends to look a little bit square. And if you remember back what it looked like before, you know, we had those pretty sharp angles. So I went and added some stair blocks to some of these little indentations here, just to give it a little bit more depth, round off those edges just a little bit. But so there is our finished product. And if I hop up here, we can kind of get this is probably a good look at everything that we've done. So that is that transformed. So definitely let me know what you guys think. We might want to do a little bit of an interior. I'm not sure what exactly I want to do for an interior. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know. So now let's turn our attention to the library up here. Now for this, I definitely want to do a similar style to what we've done with the houses, just to kind of tie that all together. So acacia for the corners, stone brick for the foundation, and then working on the walls. Now, one of the issues with this building is that it is sitting right up on top of this hill. One, there's no good way to get to it. And it's just kind of out in the middle of everything. I don't know if I want to... Oops. I definitely don't want to do that. I don't know if I want to bring it down a few levels, just so that it's a little bit easier to access, or leave it where it is. Obviously, this is a huge foundation that we're working with here. So let me get some materials together. Let me look at this a little bit more and see what exactly I want to do with it. Alright, welcome back everyone. I have taken about an hour or so away from the game. I needed to kind of clear my head and think about what exactly I wanted to do with this. And inspiration has struck, more or less. I've decided that I definitely want to bring this building down, because you can see how high it sits up here. And if we go around to the back of it, you can see that it sits pretty high here as well. So I've decided that what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear this whole thing down, and we are going to move it 3 blocks lower. We will maintain the shape that we have here, and work the roof out a little bit from there. But we're gonna do it with the block palette that we have for all the other houses in the area. And we're going to lower it down so that it's on a much more manageable level for our villager friends here. Yes, even though you're not a librarian. Alright, so I'm going to get to work on tearing this down. I'm going to try time-lapsing it, but if the next thing you see is... Hi! Don't worry, you'll get your library back. It'll be better, I promise. Anyway, I'm going to try to time-lapse it, but if the next thing you see is flat ground, you'll know that the time-lapse didn't work. Alright, so we have torn down the library, we have gotten down to where we're going to rebuild it, so why don't we get started? So we're keeping, obviously, the same foundation, same dimensions and everything, so we're going to start here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if we come over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I think we're going to want to peel this hill back a little bit. Not right now. We can do that once the building is finished. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gives us our 4 corners. And then let's come along and let's go ahead and lay this down just as a base. And let's see. I do have slabs. I don't have nearly enough slabs, but we're going to use this as our floor like we did before. Oops. And I'm out. I knew I was going to run out. Alright, well, that at least gives us a basis. So then it's 4 high on the interior. Hang on 1 second. I have a reference image here that I want to look at. And I will put that up. Yes, 1, 2, 3. It's a 4 high. Okay. So, what we're basically looking at is we have that, and then there is 2 layers of windows here, and then that on top. So that is what we are working with. Let's go ahead and frame that out. And let's do that over here as well. And of course, I'm going to be 1 window pane short. So we'll do that from right now. That at least gives us a reference. Okay. So now we need to fill in the rest of structure here. So let's go ahead and do this. Now I'm changing it slightly. In the original, this lower layer was the cobblestone, but I think the wooden texture looks better. And do we want to come in there? No, I think we want to come in right on the corner. So we'll do that. And then we'll have to figure out what we want to do with the windows here, but let's cover all of the acacia for the corners for right now. Alright, I think this is a good start. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the walls filled in and the roof on, and we will come back. Well, we have finished up our library. here is the building. I thought we would take a look at it from a distance before we go up close. So, as I said before, we have the same dimensions. Now we've got those acacia for the corner. We've got the mix of the oak and the birch. A little bit of polished andesite here above the door. And peeking through the roof. I extended the roof out beyond the edge of the house just to give a little bit more depth to the build. And added some more windows. The windows on the long sides of the house were only 1 high, and I made them 2 high to kind of match what was on the shorter ends of the house. So let's go over and take a closer look at it and see inside. If I can get down the ladder. And the villagers are obviously loving these new houses because they are spending lots of time checking them out. I had 2 that were assisting me earlier when I was tearing this place down. Alright, so here we are, up close. And if we go inside, you can see we have the stone floor, and I've moved the bookcases to the middle, and I put these little end caps on there just for a little bit of added decoration. Now, the only problem is they're only on one side, so I'm not sure if that makes it lopsided. But we have a little bit of a couch here and a table, and then if you come around here, we have the bookshelves. This crafting table, I don't know if I like it here or not, because now you can't get all the way around, but there was a crafting table in here to begin with, so I figured I would put it back. And for right now, we have torches. I'd like to do some different lighting, because I'm not sure that you should have open flame around books, but anyway, that's what we've got for right now. So that is our library, and looks like I finished that up just in time. So I think we definitely want to take this hill down, but I'm not going to worry about that today. And as I was looking at my recordings, the times on my recording, it's taken a lot longer to get these 2 builds together than I originally thought it would. So, I am going to go and sleep real quick. Actually, this will be a good time. I stole the bed from one of these houses down here, just so that I didn't have to keep running down every time it became night. So now we can put this back in place and sleep through the night, and then we'll get this episode wrapped up. So didn't quite get to the whatever that other one is called. The name is completely escaping my... Yeah, okay, I sound really intelligent right now. This building over here, you know what it is. The blacksmith shop, there we go. Okay, so I think we will leave that for next time. Couple other things that I also want to work on in the next episode is, we were looking at these farms earlier, and this thing is just way up on this hill, and we have this huge block of dirt. So what I want to do is take this farm here out, and then kind of bring the hillside sloping down so it's a little bit more natural, so we get rid of some of those harsh right angles. And then the other thing that we need, as I've been having to farm a lot of wood for these projects, and I suspect that that will continue, is I'd like to do a tree farm. And I started plotting out a little bit what I want to do for that, and I'm going to use this area up here to do that. Now, we have 6 different types of trees in Minecraft, and some of them are a 1x1, like our oak and our birch. But then we also have trees that grow better in a 2x2, such as dark oak, spruce wood, and jungle wood, which we haven't found yet. So this is kind of the layout that I was thinking of, giving, you know, this little bit of a pedestal, you know, and then we would plant our saplings in there. I don't have any saplings right now. So we plant that in there, and then there's room for it to grow. And then so each of these 3 blocks would represent 1 sapling with a gap in between it so that we can have paths between all of them. And then this would be like a larger walkway between the different types. So we'd have oak here, we'd have birch, we would have acacia, and then we'd have the 2 wide trees over here. And this is a little bit of what I was thinking for the 2x2 trees. So let me know what you think. If you guys have any good designs for tree farms, let me know that as well. You can send those to me on Twitter. So I think that is going to do it for today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends, and leave me a comment as well. Let me know what you'd like to see in future episodes. And again, you know, send me those designs if you have any for your tree farm. Be sure to follow me on social media, and if you'd like to help support this channel, I would encourage you to consider becoming one of my Patreons. You can find links to all these sites down in the description. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.